Okay, let's unpack this because, well, there's a really clear message coming through in enterprise tech right now. It seems like just having basic, sort of fragmented test automation, it just isn't cutting it anymore. Not for the big players.
No, not at all. We're definitely seeing a big shift. It's almost necessary, really, with how fast digital transformation is moving.
Exactly. So today, we're doing a deep dive into this idea of hyperautomation, and we're looking specifically at one platform, ZAPTEST.AI, and how it's really pioneering what that future looks like. We're basing this on the article Beyond Automation, how ZAPTEST is pioneering the future of hyperautomation and testing agility.
Yeah, and the key thing to get about hyperautomation, it isn't just automate more stuff, it's more fundamental. It's about this crucial unification, bringing testing and the wider business process automation stuff together under one roof, basically.
Unification, that's the goal.
Exactly. The article makes it pretty clear that this integrated approach is what businesses are really looking for now.
Right, moving beyond those, separate little automation projects that don't talk to each other. That's the challenge, isn't it? So, okay, in this deep dive, we'll dig into ZAPTEST's core innovations. We'll look at how it tackles performance, which is huge. And then, what does this all mean for big companies adopting it and for your digital transformation journey? So, looking at those core innovations, the source really highlights some things that seem like, game changers, addressing those pain points directly. First up is something called OneScript. What exactly is OneScript? Why is it such a big deal for enterprise testing?
It sounds simple, but it's actually really powerful. Basically, you write one test script, just one. And then you can run that same script everywhere, across web apps, desktop software, mobile, even back-end APIs.
Everywhere, wow.
Yeah, and it's not just about saving time, though it does that. It fundamentally breaks down those technical silos, and it massively cuts down the maintenance work, which often just cripples big automation projects. You get consistency.
Consistency across everything? Okay, I can see how that's a huge leap. And then the article talks about an AI co-pilot. Not just a fancy name, it says. It actively helps turn plain English into actual test scripts and optimizes workflows.
Think of it like an intelligent assistant, right there with you. It actively helps you translate your ideas, or even just plain language requests, straight into functional test scripts.
So it makes it easier for people who aren't hardcore coders.
Exactly. It really democratizes creating automation, makes it accessible even if you're, say, a business analyst, not a deep tech expert, which is critical because automation isn't just an IT thing anymore.
Right. It has to stretch across the business, which I guess leads us to its built-in RPA, robotic process automation. Just to remind listeners, RPA is software that can sort of mimic human actions, clicking around in apps, automating repetitive tasks. The source suggests this goes way beyond just IT tasks. Where else does this make a difference?
Well, it means automation isn't stuck in one department. You're talking about automating things like employee onboarding processes, or maybe generating really complex reports automatically, streamlining things like insurance claims processing, all sorts of stuff.
So the whole business operation?
Pretty much. It's about automating across the whole spectrum of what an organization does, fitting seamlessly into the business flow. That's really a core idea of hyperautomation.
Okay, but you can't just automate things. They have to work, especially under pressure, right, at enterprise scale. The source points to something called Lodi Studio for performance testing. How does that help with speed and reliability, especially, when things get busy, like peak loads?
Right. Load Studio basically simulates real-world demand. So it lets companies measure how fast and reliable their processes and apps are when they're under stress. This is absolutely vital because, a beautifully automated system is kind of useless if it just falls over when actual users hit it.
Yeah, makes sense. It has to be resilient.
Exactly. Resilience is key.
And thinking about actually getting this adopted in a large enterprise, the article mentions unlimited licensing and dedicated experts. How do things like that help make these big implementations successful and maybe make costs more predictable for the company?
Well, that hits on a really important question, doesn't it? How do big companies make sure these complex systems actually deliver value without, spiraling costs? The source suggests ZAPTEST is set up to speed up digital transformation, partly because it offers a model where the costs are clear, they're transparent, and you've got expert support readily available. It connects QA, quality assurance, directly with the core business operations.
Okay. So it bridges that gap.
Precisely. That's a critical link for CIOs for sure. So you've got unified automation, tools anyone can use, reliable performance, and predictable costs. Ties it all together. So yeah, the bottom line from the source seems pretty clear. ZAPTEST.AI is really positioning itself as this comprehensive hyperautomation solution, one that's meant to be faster, smarter, and really scalable. It's not just a box of tools, it's designed as an integrated ecosystem.
Okay, so let's bring it back to the listener. What does this all mean for you if you're out there trying to navigate digital transformation complexities or just looking for more efficiency?
Well, it strongly suggests a shift, right? Moving away from those, frankly, frustrating siloed automation efforts we talked about towards a genuinely integrated sort of holistic approach. One that covers both the hardcore testing and the broader business processes.
And that does raise a pretty big question for all of us to think about, doesn't it? How might a truly unified hyperautomation platform like ZAPTEST seems to be aiming for fundamentally reshape things? Not just how we test software, but how entire business operations are designed, built, and run, from the very beginning to the very end.
Yeah, thinking about a truly seamless end-to-end automated enterprise, that's a big thought. We've really only scratched the surface of hyperautomation and ZAPTEST.AI here today. There's a lot more to unpack. And we'd love for you to join us for the next chapters of the deep dive. We'll keep exploring the cutting edge of tech and the ideas that are genuinely shaping what's next. Until then, keep digging deep.